Alright, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean coming at you this Friday evening, July 17th at about 9:30 p.m. The little man is in bed, the wife is in bed. It's just you and me, Bubbas. Let's get to this. Let's get some housekeeping out of the way. As always, like and subscribe. Ring that bell to be dinged when I dong. Always check the notes down in the doobly-doo. I put my link down there, and you guys can see whatever it is I'm talking about. As well as I'm on ZellyPay. That's baked into your banking institution if you're on a mobile phone. It's really easy to do. Doesn't cost you anything. It's instantaneous and puts money into the pocket, which helps keep a roof over my head and feed the kids. And most importantly, it goes back into the channel. I'm on MeWe link. I'm on Discord link on the YouTube page. Go check them out. Tonight's video du jour, Era, the Consortium core rule book. This is a PDF. I don't have the physical book. I did buy this on DriveThruRPG with funds that you guys gave me, so that was really nice. So thank you. Didn't really, like I said, all the money goes back into the channel. So there's been a number of people that have contributed and bought things using my affiliate link, which you'll see right there. Feel free to pause the video and type that into your browser. And if you're going to buy something on DriveThruRPG, I get a kickback and it doesn't cost you any extra money. So, and this is the fruits of those labors. Consortium, the core rule book. This is a gorgeous book, first of all, as far as the PDF goes. I'm not quite sure if it has layers. Let's see. Does it have layers? No, it doesn't. Sadly. Bummer. That would have been nice because, man, if you're going to print this at home, you're going to chew up some toner. 303 pages. Like I said, all I have is the PDF, so I don't know the quality, physical quality of the book. First and foremost, I'm going to go over the art. The art is gorgeous. They got some really good art in here. And as always, I'll go over the things I like and I don't like. This is a very, very deep RPG. Not as crunchy as I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be a super crunchy RPG, but it is not. I will say, though, be ready for some reading. The authors, I'll have to check. I haven't even looked yet. They really went into background and fiction. They love writing their own fiction for this book. And for the most part, I skimmed through it. Obviously, I didn't read the whole thing. But it's fairly well written from what I said. Some of the stories engrossed me, and I kept reading. And I liked what I read, to be honest. I'm always a big fan of sci-fi. The cover here this is the core book, and I'll put the link down in the doobly-doo for all the books they have. They have a superhero genre. They are using this same error D10 system, as they call it, which is basically a stat, a skill, and a number. You'll take your stat and your skill, combine them, and that's how many D10s you'll roll. And the GM will set the difficulty. It could be as low as 3 for something really easy, or as high as like 7, 8, 9 for something very difficult. And you'll need a number of those successes. Usually one is enough to get you, but if it's an opposed roll against an NPC or another player, obviously whoever gets the most rolls. There's rules for fumbles. If you roll more ones than successes, then it's fumbles, and depending on how it goes, there's luck as well. There's a luck stat. And you can, even if you don't have a skill, you can still attempt it by rolling luck. But unfortunately, 1, 2, or 3 are fumbles. 1, 2, or 3 are fumbles, and they have their own consequences. But a 10 is a success, but 10s explode. You don't get to re-roll 10s when you're using luck, though. I thought that was kind of a cool mechanic. So it's a very similar dice mechanic if you've played Cyberpunk or you've played Vampire the Masquerade or any of the World of Darkness games. Very similar. You're creating a dice pool and you're looking for a number of successes. The more, the better. The difference here is the number is not static. It can, if it's something really easy to do, you may only need a target number of 3. So any dice that roll 3s, great. The problem is fumbles. There's a lot to be said for rolling a lot of dice, but then again, that gives you more chances to roll fumbles. course, it also gives you more chances to roll successes, so, or tens, which are criticals. The other neat thing they did that I like about the mechanics is if you roll a d10, you can obviously choose to roll again, hoping to get another success. But if you roll a 1, it counts as a failure, a fumble. So it wipes out your success and it gives you a fumble. So you could be in that precarious situation that you're right on the borderline. If you re-roll one of those 10s and it comes up a 1, you could possibly have more failures than successes, and that could be bad. So that's the basic mechanics out of the way. I'm not going to go through character creation because, to be honest, I want you to go and buy the book. It's very detailed. The art is gorgeous. There is a plethora of alien races, and they're very well done. It's nothing that we haven't seen, but the main antagonist in the game, I think, is pretty cool, and we'll get into that. But I want to scroll through a book and show you a little bit of the art. This is the main cover, and I do like it. Who doesn't like giant powered armor? It's pretty cool. And then Shades of Vengeance is the name of the company that produces this. And like I said, they have a plethora of different books out, and you'll see it on Drive-Thru RPG. So very cool powered armor, obviously. Very 40K-ish, Warhammer 40K. Obviously, you can tell they were influenced by Warhammer. And I like that cover. Don't get me wrong. I want you to keep that cover in mind. But I think there's a better cover that I wish they would have used. We see some pictures of the solar system and stuff. There's a nice piece of art here. I think that would have been a better cover. I don't know. To me, this rings to me more than the powered armored, soldier. I just think that just rings. It's supposed to be a hard sci-fi game. This screams more hard sci-fi than the human in powered armor. I don't know. That's just me. Standard warning and everything you get. Copyright Shades of Vengeance 2014. I believe this was a Kickstarter that was successfully funded. And when I said that these guys like their fiction, I wasn't lying. The first, how far is it? Let's see. The first 100 and let's go here. Places. About the first 120 pages is pretty much fiction and fluff. And out of a 303-page book, that's a lot of fluff. And there's also some information on the planets and everything, as you can see here. And then it jumps right into character creation. We're just going to kind of scroll through this so you can see the art. Gives you tech levels, everything you'd expect in a typical, high science fiction genre game is in here. But I think the layout of the book and the art is really top notch. And these guys, I've never heard of Shades of Vengeance. Not to say that I know everything or am the end all be all of game publishers and stuff, but I like to think that I have my finger on the pulse, and I there's not too much that slides by me that I haven't heard of. But this is one of them that I hadn't heard of, and one of my viewers had actually turned me on to it. And I like I said, I didn't know anything about it. Let me see here. One of my viewers, Patrick Barnes, is the one who turned me on to this, and asked if I had heard about it or I knew about it. And Patrick has been a great supporter of the channel, so a big shout out to him. And awesome, Patrick. Thank you for using my affiliate link and buying a bunch of stuff. He filled up his Christmas in July, and he went to town. So kudos to him. I hope you got I know you got a lot of good stuff to read. And he turned me on to Era of the Consortium, and so I have to thank him. So a big shout out to him and to his lady friend who he's getting into role-playing games and stuff like that. And I'm hoping I'll have a day that we can all get together virtually and I can run a game for the both of them. I don't know what that game will be. I know they don't like superheroes, though, so it won't be a superhero game. But maybe it'll be Era of the Consortium. I don't know. I got to say, though, I really dig the art. I like the layout of the book. It's consistent. Got guys that have watched my channel in the past, you know, one of my pet peeves is consistency in your book. You know, when I pick up this book and I look at the layout and I look at the style of the art, I know this is Era of the Consortium. I don't confuse it with Traveler. I don't confuse it with, you know, Scum and Villainy. I know that this is Era of the Consortium because it is clear and concise in its presentation, and I like that. So kudos to these guys. I don't know what their daytime jobs are. Maybe they hired someone to help them with the layout. I'm assuming they did it all themselves. It's kind of the way it sounds. I did watch I believe it was an Australian interview with them, and yeah, it was pretty cool. We've got some, you know, of course, we've got humans. Then we have the Aleutians, which are basically squids. And yeah, they're basically sentient squids. Aquatic species reminiscent of the Terran cephalopods. So very cool, and they have these bodies that they use. And like right there is one of them. And then we have Zemians. Zemians are the big bad guy, the antagonist in this game. The Zemians are an alien species that we came into contact with, and things didn't go well. And it all leads up to a big battle and some conspiracies. There's very cool. The fiction and the timeline that they give you is very well done. And like I said, I don't want to spoil it, but it is very cool and it's well worth the read. The young people, or the people that wrote this, did a very good job. So you have and then you have your Vilithi, which are your basically plant people, and they come in all shapes and flavors and sizes. Let's see what else. Character creation. This is where we get into the actual book, and this is page what? Page 138. So it's pretty much all fluff fiction and a little bit about the cosmos. And then once you get to this point, it dives hard into character creation, equipment, perks and flaws, you name it, everything you have. Implants is a big thing too. All your equipment, vehicles, and like I said, we're gonna go through it kind of generically, because this is a game I have yet to play. This I would really like to get it to the table and try it. I'm a huge fan of what's old is new sci-fi. What's old is new, which is a sci-fi game which uses a D6 system. But this is a slightly different system using D10s. I'm a huge D10 fan, so when I found out this game was a D10 game, it kind of got me right there. And then I saw the art and the layout of the book. And while What's Old is New is very well laid out and very well done, and the art's pretty good as well, they really do steal from all sci-fi genres. You'll see stuff in there from Star Trek, Star Wars, Babylon 5, Battlestar Galactica. There's a lot of art in there that you can tell is heavily influenced by those things, and if not even almost a ripoff. And I don't know how they didn't get sued, but maybe because it's a role-playing game and nobody really cared. But it's well done, and go back and watch my review of What's Old is New, because it's a good game, and I was running it for a while. Unfortunately, 3/4 of my players bailed due to life, and so I just canceled the game. But here we have our character creation process, and they tell you how to go through it. And you can actually play a Zemian because there's an armistice, there's a peace, and we have reached an accord with them, and so hostilities have stopped. So now they are a playable race. But who knows what nefarious things they have going on. Are they happy? Are they secretly lying in wait to attack us from within? Who knows? You'll have to play the game. You have to buy the book. And here's your tree people, which again, I think very well done. They don't look like every other tree person that you would see. Again, the art is what I like about this is we get art that is indicative of the species and the races that are available in this galaxy, in this universe of this game. So I like that a lot. So it's not so abstract that you don't know what, you have one character picture in the character creation. I think oh, what was the game? I just reviewed it a couple of weeks ago. I can't think of the name of it, but that was one of my pet peeves, was that the art was not indicative of the game. It was just stock art, and you know, I mean, it was fine, but Entropy, I think it is. Yeah, Entropy, um, which is a good game, but that was my pet peeve, is that the art didn't match the characters. There was no, once you had your picture of your character, you never saw. I hear my wife moving around in the back. You never saw that character or that race again in the art, except for like generic humans. So, but yeah, I mean, vibrant colors, well laid out. Again, the page keeps that same theme with the red highlights. You know, here we've got different aliens and everything. It's pretty, pretty diversified. Attributes: natural ability, uh, strength, intelligence, charisma, stamina, willpower, reaction, wits, and luck. I like that they have a luck stat. I think that's very cool. And then you have your derived statistics, derived statistics. Character creation, again, it keeps going on. I mean, we're already on page 156 and we're still in character creation. So there is a lot to do here. Character statistics, medicine, pilot, these are like some skills and stuff. Again, more um, art. Again, very well done. Vibrant colors. They weren't afraid to use a color palette here and just go nuts with it, and it works. Not all games can get away with this. Another one that comes to mind is Savage Worlds and Unity, which fell off the face of the earth. I don't know what happened to that game. Another very cool game, high fantasy game, high magic game, very vibrant colors and art. Go back in my library there and check out the review of Unity. Um, but again, we keep part two of character creation. That was just part one, from 131 to 150 or 160, 61. Now page 162 starts part two of character creation. So if you want a little bit of crunch in character creation, it's here. I think this gives you a very in-depth character. You're going to walk away after character creation. You're going to know what makes your character tick. And from what I've read, it looks like you can dial it in and you can play exactly what you want to play, which is always a good thing in my book. Player agency, feeling that you have control over your character and that is a living, breathing character in your eyes, in your mind's eye, is very important for player agency and for everyone to have a good time. So, and you know, here's what happens. It's what happens when you gain experience. When you hit level 2, you get 1 attribute point, you get 2 skill points, and you get 1 specialty point, and you use those to upgrade your character. So it's very cut and dry. I mean, again, the art, very vibrant colors. You know, like it's not even looking; it just shoots to do it. So this is just a brief glimpse of the character sheet. I really like it. It feels sci-fi to me. It feels like, this is, that's not a normal character sheet. It's broken up very well. And this is obviously highlighted to emphasize a point of what they're going through for the character creation process. But it looks like that at the back of the book, except it's all, this color. And it's really well done. Equipment and vehicles, huge equipment section with all kinds of stuff, all kinds of implants. You name it, you can get it here. Prosthetics, just you name it. Everything. And really, they ran the gamut here, and they did a great job. Obviously, these people, they know their sci-fi and they know what ticks, and it's really well done. So I don't want to get too much into it. Melee weapons, knives, all these crazy weapons. So you can really kit out your character. Bows, crossbows for stealth, pistols. You got everything. The cool art. The ships, though, I wanted to get to the ship section because, man, do they nail the ship section really, really well. And of course, there's ugly weapons. Looks like grenades. Yeah. So going through this kind of fast. It's a little bit late. I've worked all day. I'm a little tired, a little fatigued. I didn't get any painting done today. I'll show you what I was working on. Here's armor. I love that they give you like the generic dolls and the armor for like a Zemian. I think that's really cool because the armor obviously for a Zemian isn't going to work for a human, or I can't even say that name. And there's powered armor again, different concepts. Um, Stealth suits. I mean, and then different types of shields, all kinds of, I mean, just crazy gear. I want to get to the ship section. Here we go. Here's mounted weapons. Let's keep going. Here we go. All right, implants. Like I said, this thing, there's a suit of powered armor. Tell me that isn't cool. Really very well done. Smeritos Security, which is the power behind the throne, so to speak. But I don't want to ruin that, so I don't want to get too deep into it. Some of the ships are cool. These are the human and the alien ships, and you can see they kind of fit a good sci-fi theme. They make sense. And then when you get to the Zemian ships, that's when the proverbial shit hits the fan. And it just, to me, it invokes Alien. It invokes that these guys ain't playing, and you'll see what I mean here when I get, look at that, the Orion, that's a monster. There you go. Zemian fighter. Tell me that's just not some creepy shit. The Zemian cruiser, if that doesn't look like a grasshopper or a locust, and if you've ever seen a locust up close and seen them eat, they are voracious, and they are creepy looking. And then that's a carrier. Sorry, someone's starting a car outside. It caught me off guard. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that just screams Alien, and I don't know if it's just the color palette that they've used, but just the design of the ship looks alien and creepy, and really just well done. So that was pretty much, and then of course they go into security. There's like an airport being attacked. And then we go into the rule system, which is chapter 4, which starts on page 220. So we are more than halfway through the book, and we're just getting to the mechanics of the game. It's a D10 system. As you can see here, here's a sample threshold, 2 or 3, for a very easy task. But again, stat and a skill creates a dice pool. You roll that many D10s, plus or minus any perks or flaws that you might have. Implants, equipment, situational modifiers, anything like that. You'll roll all of that, and then that's what you're looking for. You're looking to get, a 2 or a 3 on the die, and if it's a relatively routine task, you may only need 1 success. Maybe, but if it's being opposed, you're like hacking a security system. Maybe it has a moderate difficulty of 5. So your target number is 5 now, and but the GM says, well, you're under a little stress. There's some security guards wandering the area. You're going to need 3 successes. So now you got to roll your dice pool and roll, and hopefully get those 3 successes. I like dice pool systems, especially when they're not D6. I'm not a huge fan of D6s, and I like D10s because I think they give you a broader range of possibilities, obviously, because there's more numbers. So the basics of the rule set, it's very clear and concise. I read through it, and there wasn't anything where I went, what? That doesn't make... Everything makes sense. I like their rule of luck. And then, of course, here's the general rules. I mean, again, more cool art. I'm not going to go through the whole book, but it is very clear and concise. It is laid out really well. Yeah, be careful. That might be a live wire. And again, I can't go over... Oh, that's brutal. There's another picture of when they're fighting the Zemians on the battlefield, and it's like humans, and they're pulling a human apart. So obviously the Zemians have a lot of strength because they're pulling that guy in half. Yeah, and that's one of those plant guys bleeding out. Probably not a good day for him. So that's pretty much the book in a nutshell. It's like I said, very in-depth um, background and world setting, a lot of fiction. It's pretty much all in the beginning of the book, though. That first 120 pages or so is, slog through it. It's a good read. They also intersperse it with a timeline, so you can kind of read through as you're reading the fiction because it jumps around. You can kind of see where it is in the timeline, and they bring it up to the current time. And it's pretty well done. I mean, that art's a little static. I'm not actually wild about that, or that one. But for the rest of it, for the most part, the art is pretty decent. Pretty decent. Flowchart for unarmed combat. Yeah, that can't be good no matter what you're doing. Uh, Melee combat again. The flowchart tell you how to do it. Pretty cut and dry. Ranged combat again, they break it down, flowchart. I mean, there's chucking a grenade, um, thrown combat. So again, a little bit on the crunchy side. Be aware what you're getting into here is a lot of reading. You're not going to just pick this up and run it tonight. If you've never read it, I mean, you're going to need to dive into it, read a little bit of that fiction, get a feel for the universe and the world, kind of know what you're talking about. I would definitely print out the timeline, the timeline, and I would give that to all my players, or at least make it available on the table so that they can all kind of read it. And then, I mean, another cool picture. Obviously, their strength is pretty touted, and it keeps going on with rules. There's a decent amount of rules. Attribute checks and skill use, gunnery, piloting, again, keeps going on with the rule set. Let's see if we can get through here. Very cool piece of art, and in the book, those 2 pages would be facing each other, so it would look like he's looking out, through the window, and he would see his reflection or whatever. So, again, your aliens, and the game master section starts on page 262, and it goes through all about doing a session, getting everything ready. What era are you going to be playing? Because it is called Era of the Consortium, and it looks like a very cool game. I would be interested in giving it a try. It's got a fair amount of crunch, but I don't think it's uber crunchy. I think I would be willing to give it a shot and give it a try and see how it plays out. At least I might even try to make a character or two and do a mock combat. And tell you what, I wouldn't want to get into hand-to-hand combat with a Zemian unless I was in powered armor, because I ain't about getting torn in half. So we got some charts in here. Suggested character statistics. So there you go. You can whip up some NPCs. Here's some player characters. It's a level 1 character. It's a human. He's for hire, so he's a human mercenary. His quirk is he's fearless. He's 43 years old. He has specialties are steel skin, survivor, and called shot. Implants. He has subdermal armor, which will make him a little bit tougher. And as you can see, you get some pips. So here, if he's making so let's just say he's going to do strength and brawl, he would roll 4 dice. And he's got a 3 in strength and he's got a 1 in brawl. So, there you go. And so our key attributes are strength, intelligence, charisma, stamina, willpower, dexterity, wits, and luck. And then your skills break down into personal, technical, interaction, and then you have equipment. So, like I said, that's a filled out character sheet. Here's an Eleuthylian, can't say it. Here's a Zemian brain. He works for the Consortium, and you can see his intellect is off the chart. So yeah, there's one of the plant people. What is this one? That's a human. Expert surgeon. So yeah, I like the basically half character sheet. So, and then we go into our obviously table of content or the index, which is pretty cool. and there's a full table of contents. The PDF is hyperlinked, so you can click on anything and it'll take you right to it. So I guess all the Kickstarter backers, contributors, Patreon and Kickstarter. A glossary of terms, always a good thing to have. And then there's your blank character sheet. So, and it's just a one sheet, which again, I like that we don't have a 6-page character sheet because it's a sci-fi game, so we have to give you 18 pages of tech. No, it's very simple, very cut and dry. And then, of course, our back page, dude's getting his arm ripped off. Not good. So again, that is Era of the Consortium, guys. I mean, it looks awesome to me. It seems pretty crunchy, but not so crunchy as that I would just get burnt out trying to figure out how to make a character. The character creation does look a little daunting, not going to lie. I think you would do well to sit down and read it very well, and maybe check YouTube and see if there's any videos on character creation. I'm pretty sure from what I read that it's not terribly difficult. You're just going to make some basic choices and then allocate your points, and go from there. And of course, your species is going to give you benefits and detriments to those attributes. So very, very interesting game. Thank you, Kid Chaos, for turning me on to it. I'm glad it's in my collection, and I think when I can, I will order the hardback book for it because I think if the art looks this good on a PDF, I think it'll look really good in a full color print book. And so that's what I got to say about that, guys. I just wanted to do a quick review. We went a little bit over a half an hour. So as always, like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you're going to check it out or if you're playing it. Do you already own it? If you don't, use my affiliate link. Go and pick yourself up a hardback copy or a PDF, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I'm going to. I'm going to read a little bit more of it in bed, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. So until next time, peace and hair grease, and remember, Mr. Mean says be nice.